Alright, and now I will post in other places.
Inside you, so won't you wake up now and see? Don't hide away the things you're feeling. Unlock your mind and lose the key. There's a universe inside you. You should never have to hide. I can see the stars inside you. Please just open up your eyes.
Alright. I have shared it to 6 different places that I am allowed to share it to.
Inside you, so much more than people know. I've seen you fighting your emotion. I hope you stay and won't let go. There's a universe inside you, so much love to leave behind. Stop the path of devastation. You should live for all the hype.
Alright, what is up, Dungeoneers, and welcome back to the Nexus. I am Azrael, and as always, I am joined with my lovely co-host, Cthulhu Games.
Good morning, everyone.
How's everybody doing today? Well, my camera is a little bit off here. Yeah, all good.
Yeah, that looks better.
Yeah, there we go. So, yeah, we are going to be doing some cool stuff today. I believe we are going to be working on a model for a new Mutagene.
Yes,
which,
I'm so excited.
Yeah, this thing is going to be crazy. For those of you guys who don't know what a Mutagene is, this is for Nexus Dungeoneering's our company's upcoming game, Blood Divers, and Mutagenes are human beings who have voluntarily undergone a pretty gnarly mutation, and this one is going to be creepy. I'm really looking forward to designing this thing, because if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is kind of a crab-like creature with like this giant gnarly shell over it. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, anyway, let's dive right in, shall we?
So, this is brand new. Like, super brand new. We just talked about it yesterday, kind of brand new.
Yeah.
And I am so excited.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to abuse the hell out of this thing.
This thing's gonna be creepy as hell. There we go. It's always that moment when you got to get your headset on.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Are we transmitting properly? Let me make sure here. Looks like it.
Looks good on my end.
Perfect. Alright.
So, what we have, or at least I should say what I have written down, is that the purpose of this thing is to haul the super heavy salvage that we couldn't possibly pick up, like,
right.
I don't know, like small building pieces or, stuff like that. And it's not geared for combat?
Well, I mean, it is somewhat. It's basically designed as a heavy retrieval unit. So, but the teams that go out with these things are going to be, I mean, everybody's going to encounter mistwalkers when you go out into the mist. That's just how that works.
Yeah.
So, in this case, this particular creature has just been designed to basically be a giant hauler. But we're definitely going to give it some defenses as well.
Like that tempersite shell?
Like a big ass tempersite shell, yeah. Let's so I'm going to do just a kind of a rough super sketch of what I've been imagining here. It's kind of like layered armor shell that goes over the top of it.
Oh, that looks gnarly.
Right?
Now, how big is this thing going to be?
Well, I mean, that's the question, isn't it? Mutagenes are, well, originally human beings. So the question is, do we want these mutations to be able to turn you into like a gigantic creature?
I think it should definitely make you bigger. But not monstrously so. Kind of like the difference between Bruce Banner and the Hulk.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It gets bigger, sure, and it's going to need to if it's going to haul heavy salvage.
Right.
But even with the mutagene and the mistwalkers and everything like that, there's only so far the human body can be stretched before it just breaks.
Right. Well, that's the other part about the mist is like it is kind of a Cthulhian horror, so that's the one benefit is it actually allows you to do kind of stuff like that if you really wanted to.
Right.
And I think in this case it's just a question of like do we want to do that or do we want to have it be a little bit more grounded in reality? I also had another idea for this thing that would be freaking creepy, I think. What if, like, we know that tempersite is a living organism, right?
Yes.
So what if one of these big biotank, heavy transports is the result of a mutagene bonding with tempersite?
Ooh. That's an idea.
It would give them the ability to, enlarge themselves, become kind of amorphous.
Yeah.
And I think it would explain a little bit about this, and it would also explain why they have a tempersite shell on them.
Right. No, I like that. I like that a lot.
Sweet. I think that is what we're going to go with then. So again, this is just a super quick, it's just what I call a super sketch is usually just like a really quick, I don't know how well, let's do this. I'm just trying to, right now I'm just blocking out shapes pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go in and kind of start to semi-refine certain details, but not a ton. Maybe bring out just a little bit of the kind of humanity that was in here at one point, you know?
Whatever's left.
If that, yeah. Well, I mean, very, very little with a mutagene, let's be honest. I'm actually going to go ahead and thin this down a little bit. God, these things are so much fun to design. I always have a really good time designing these things. They are always fun.
And I love watching you do this.
Thank you. It's definitely a weird hobby. But
I mean, there are weirder.
There are definitely weirder. So we're gonna keep a little bit of the hermit crab appearance in front, but we need some kind of rear propulsion as well, so.
Why rear propulsion?
Well, part of it is for stability.
Okay.
Because you look at it, he's got these big, kind of grabbing limbs that he can use to, drag himself forward, but unless this has some kind of sled or, anti-grav thing going for it, there's really not a lot of ability for him to get over heavy stuff or rough terrain. So giving him these rear legs gives him the ability to act more like a spider while kind of maintaining that look of a crab. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, no, I get it.
So
Gosh, this is going to be so cool.
This guy's going to be creepy. I'm really looking forward to the way he turns out. I'm liking the shapes that I've been able to block together so far, so it's definitely tickling all the right brain parts, you know what I mean?
Good.
We're gonna give them some bulk. Because I liked your reference about the Hulk. I think
Thanks.
Any Marvel reference is always a winner with me. I'm gonna put that out there. I am a Marvel fan.
Nice.
I am such a huge fanboy. Oh my god. Have you been watching any of the Marvel series? On Disney Plus?
I have not.
They are.
We don't have Disney Plus.
Oh man. What they're doing with that world is utter insanity. I mean, just so cool watching this universe, expand and expand and expand.
Yeah.
And especially for somebody like me, like I was a huge Iron Man fan when I was a kid. So when I saw the first Iron Man movie, I was a kid in a candy shop,
They did a good job.
It was incredible, yeah. And who knew that it was going to kick off, one of the largest film franchises in human history.
I always loved movies growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just amazed to see the progress that they've been able to do over the last couple of decades.
Yeah.
with like cinematography and CGI, and just how all of it has just grown so much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's movies and, you know, that kind of stuff was the main reason why I got into being a sculptor and doing this. It was seeing what was possible. It just opened up my mind to being able to look at things and going, holy shit, like I can, if I want to do this, I can do it.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what's already been done. It was super, super inspiring to me watching films and seeing the way that, you know, the way that you know, computer graphics have improved. I mean, geez, look at video games.
Yeah, video games have come a long way.
It's that was kind of my metric for technology when I was a kid. You know, I remember playing Pong. Yeah, you know, I might be dating myself there a little bit, but
I mean, we're old.
yeah, that's true. Old and proud.
Yep.
But, you know, there was also, and then I saw the Nintendo come out, and then I saw the Sega Genesis and the PlayStation, and it just got better and better and better. And all of a sudden, now you're seeing games as more than just a regular entertainment, but as a way of telling really amazing stories. You know, Final Fantasy VII, probably one of the greatest games that's ever been created. And they had the graphics to make it look better, and the creator said no, he didn't want that. He wanted the game to be about the story.
Right.
And it was an incredible achievement as far as you know, digital storytelling goes. And I can very honestly say that was one of the biggest inspirations for me wanting to become a game maker. It's like, if he could tell that kind of story with graphics back then, imagine what I could tell with what we have now.
Right.
You know? Alright, so I think we've got our basic shape filled out here. We gotta do some, gotta figure out what this shell is gonna look like in the back.
So, how exactly is this going to haul and store things?
So, what I'm thinking is this section in here opens up.
Okay.
Like, this is actually kind of a part of, this is one of the biological parts of the organism, and it just kind of, like, you know, opens up. So it'll come over, it'll walk over the top of whatever object it is, and then just kind of sit on it and absorb it. And that way, it's able to maintain a defensive shell that is pretty much impermeable. So if it ever comes under attack, all it has to do is suck in its limbs, suck its head in there,
Yeah.
and it just becomes this kind of like armored shell.
That's creepy and cool at the same time.
But it is also going to be cybernetic. We need to put some weapons on this guy. Weapons are required.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like something mounted to the shell, maybe.
Okay. I'm 99% kidding.
Mm-hmm.
What if two of the front legs are actually guns?
Oh, that's a phenomenal idea.
Wait, what?
No, I really like that. Actually, just give him another pair like this. This is super, super low poly just to make it easy to manipulate, but we're gonna... So, mutagenes usually get bone spears, right?
I mean, yeah, as far as as we've talked about.
So, this is a biotank's bone spears.
Ooh.
So it can either fire these things out at super high velocities, or it can just tear you up with them. This is gonna be a gnarly looking bastard. All right, I'm super happy with that.
I can't believe you took that joke seriously and you liked it.
No, I mean, it worked. It looks good, don't you think?
I mean, yeah, no, I agree. Maybe I should lay off the coffee more. Apparently I come up with good ideas when I don't have caffeine.
Mechanical. There we go.
That looks good.
Okay. Sweet. And then it can just withdraw this, and these things will kind of like drop to right here.
Mm-hmm.
When it pulls itself in. And then all you see is a bunch of big-ass claws and teeth and guns sticking out of a giant metal dome. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so let's go ahead and do... We're going to make this metallic. And then we are going to duplicate it. And I'm going to raise it up like that. Because now... we're going to start separating this into shells, or layers. Oh, nope. So for now, I just want the shell. Dude, I want to design the stats for this guy so we can have one in our next playtest.
Right?
I'm thinking this would be a specialized class. Like if your mutagene handler team has one of these, it would basically equip you to do missions that are built for it.
Yeah.
So...
So I know that Jack had wanted to come in and talk about this because he said that he wanted to be able to put some input
okay.
in its creation.
Sure. Do we want to... What's up?
I think he stepped away from Discord for a second to take
Okay.
care of Sunshine. I'm not 100% sure.
Well, if I mean, he's more than welcome. If he wants to jump in, do we want to go over to the ND chat, or do you want to see if you can drag him into our call?
I mean, we could go over to ND.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'll meet you there.
Sweet. All right, I will be there in just a second. There we go.
Oh.
So now comes the fun part. Making hard surfaces in this system is difficult. Are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, sorry, I got given a pancake. I'm sorry.
Oh God, pancakes? Yes.
Yeah,
confirmed
Thor's
already.
making pancakes from scratch.
Oh shot.
Mm-hmm.
Friggin' pancakes, man. Dude, I am such a huge, like, I just love I love food of all kinds. Like, when I was in the Navy, that was my way of exploring every new country, was going and checking out all the food. I had a couple of friends of mine who would do the same thing. We had a rule. We had to find a place in town that did not have any English on the menu.
Oh, joy.
And then be surprised by what shows up. And sometimes that was really good, and sometimes not so good. It was, in fact, sometimes it could be a rather unfortunate experience, but it was always fun. Which was the important part.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to South Korea and went into this place, and it was like one of those cook your own meal places.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, but we didn't know that because obviously none of us read Korean.
Right.
So the ladies who worked there, really sweet ladies, kind of came over and showed us what to do. They didn't speak any English, but I think they figured out what was going on pretty quick and took pity on us, I think. And then at the very end of the meal, we were all eyeing these little green chili peppers that were on the table, and we all knew this is South Korea. The chili peppers here, these are gonna be hot, and so it became a question of who's gonna do it first.
And of course it was you, right?
No, actually, I was the smart one there. I let my buddy, oh God, I can't remember his name right now. he was one of our torpedomen. He took it first, and it was a bad idea.
Oh God.
So naturally, all of us had to follow suit, and
Right.
all of us realized very quickly just how bad of an idea that was. Much to those old ladies' amusement, they thought that was hilarious.
Of course they did.
Because we're all sitting there dying. They were really sweet though. They ended up coming up and giving us like these little milk container things, like this kind of like rice milk container, like a juice box. It was really cute, and it helped. Holy shit, it helped.
Here, you drink this. You stop dying in my store.
I'm fairly certain that's exactly what they were saying. It's like I don't care what happens, just don't die here.
Right? Die somewhere else.
Yeah. But I really loved South Korea. That was such a cool place.
I've always wanted to go, but I've always wanted to explore everything. So, I have wanderlust like nobody's business. The fact that I've lived in the same state for 10 years is not only amazing, but it's driving me crazy.
Yep. I feel you.
You have a DM in your Discord.
I do. All right. Give me just a second. Well, that's strange.
Uh-huh.
I wonder what that was about.
Don't know. I don't know.
Well, I guess we'll find out eventually. Hopefully.
I would hope so. I would like to find out.
But I do know that Sunshine is watching. Hi, Sunshine.
Sunshine is watching?
Sunshine is watching. She said
How
she's
can
watching
you
me
tell?
on TV. Because she sent me a DM.
Aw.
And normally I don't call out lurkers, but it's Sunshine and I have to. Hello.
Hi, Sunshine. I hope you are feeling better today.
Yee. Agreed.
And don't forget to listen to the doctors.
Alright. So we're somewhat getting there. Slowly but surely, it's happening.
I like the sharper edges for the shell.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I think I'm going to try making this faceted.
Why faceted?
Just because it's one of the few ways to make like true hard surfaces in Medium. At least that
That's
I've
fair.
found. And it'll make them fairly uniform, but it's just you gotta. It takes there's a learning curve to it, unfortunately. Oh, what am I doing? I've done hard surfaces like this before, and this works. It makes perfectly straight lines.
Who needs those?
Right? Straight lines.
Straight lines are fruit.
Losers. Only losers use straight lines. Us cool kids do our own thing.
Right. Yeah, no, I can't draw a straight line to save my life. I can't. Just can't.
Honestly, most people can't. So that's not super weird.
No?
No, it really isn't. Drawing something. So the human eye is really, really good at picking out inconsistencies.
Mm-hmm.
And the human hand is not the steadiest thing on Earth.
No.
So
What the?
when you're doing something when you're drawing a straight line, it's giving you or when you're trying to draw a straight line, if you're not using a straight edge, your mind will automatically pick up even the most minute shifts in it, and whether or not it
Like how some
straight.
people can see an image online that's just a pixel off.
Yep, exactly.
I didn't know that was a thing. I thought I was just a weirdo.
No, human beings are really, really good at spotting that stuff. So yeah, you're not weird at all. I have known several people who always thought that they were like terrible artists because they couldn't draw a straight line. I'm going, dude, I can't draw a straight line. I've been classically trained in art for 20 plus years of my life, and I can't draw a straight line, not without a ruler. So if I can't do it, I mean,
Right?
why would you expect yourself to be able to do it? That is not weird at all. Nothing to be ashamed of.
I mean, the melting clocks is a perfect example of not being able to draw a straight line is perfectly fine.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, so now...
I don't know how I feel about that.
What about this? The shell?
Yeah, the one up above. Like,
the top one?
I like the harder
one?
lines, but I feel like... I don't know. It looks... too jagged?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
No, that is
Is
definitely
it just
a
me?
thing. I don't think so, no. You know what? I'm gonna take that faceting off of there. You got a couple of hard edges right here. These are these like dynamic curves are so freaking hard to do in VR.
Yeah, I can see.
They're hard to do in pretty much anything. There's a couple of programs where you can do this kind of stuff, but in that case, you're not actually working with voxels, which is what these sculpts are made out of. You're using pixels, and you're using vertices. So I've got another program on here called Gravity Sketch, which allows me to create a subdivided image and split all of the different faces off of it and manipulate those particular faces, each face individually. Oh. So, in fact, I may actually do a lower poly rendering of this, bring it into Gravity Sketch,
and then see what you can do with it.
See if I can fix it there.
I like the recesses under the edge of the shells. I like that a lot.
Because this is a liquid metal. In its natural state, it's a liquid, so it would make sense that it has edges, but not super hard edges.
Yeah, like I liked the hard edge look, but Tempersite doesn't necessarily work that way.
Right. You're wearing a suit of what is it? What's the What's the liquid metal they use in thermometers? Why am I losing? Oh, why am I forgetting that?
Mercury?
Mercury, yeah. I'm not dumb, I promise.
What the... Oh my god. That was wonderful. That was great. Was not expecting that at all.
All right. I like leaving a little bit of an edge right here, but I have to say, now that I'm smoothing these out, I'm actually liking this a lot more just as a smooth shell. It feels right, you know what I mean?
Oh no, absolutely.
There's so much of this hobby that has to do with just how an object or how a shape feels. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is amazing how huge of a difference that will make. So, yeah, I could. All right, I'm starting to feel that kind of crab look.
This looks good.
Yeah, I'm really liking that. I think that was the right way to go. Just to smooth those edges out. Smooth those facets out at least. Because I have to admit, like the belly plate on the bottom really does look like a crab's.
No, it does.
So.
It does. Because it's kind of mostly flat, but it's got these weird divots in places. No, it looks good. I wish the others were here to provide some input.
Yeah.
But I know Sunshine isn't feeling well, and Jack has to take care of her.
Yeah.
And Gelf just doesn't love us anymore, so no.
Well, Gelf is currently running errands. She actually said that she may join us when she gets back.
Oh hell yeah!
So we may have Das Gelfling on as a guest.
Nice.
So that would be very cool. And speaking of guests, I do believe that that we're at a point now where we can let everybody know that the Everyday Dungeoneer is going to be coming back. We will be recording new episodes here coming up pretty soon. We've got some awesome guests coming up. Mepaz has agreed to join us.
Nice.
So he is a composer, and he's working on some theme music for Blood Divers right now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so he's gonna join us, and we'll chat a little bit about his creative process, which I'm super excited about.
Nice.
And I'm gonna need your help to make sure I don't go off on a Warhammer 40k tirade with him, because he and I are both big fans. So
you want me to control two nerds?
Yes, two Warhammer 40k nerds talking about Warhammer 40k. Yes.
I don't get paid enough for this.
You get paid? What the hell?
That's my point. That's my point.
I was about to say, it's like, how do you get paid and I don't? How does this work?
You see, I get handed pancakes, so that's my payment.
That's I mean, that is not a payment to be sniffed at, honestly.
Oh, there was much sniffing. They're good.
Oh my god.
He's made homemade pancakes before, but this recipe tastes different.
Yeah?
Yeah. I wish. No. No, we're out.
That's why you didn't keep putting. It's like he didn't put any bourbon in because you're out. No.
Yeah. No. No, I don't know like what he did. I know that there's milk, egg, and baking powder involved. But I had this with you, so I couldn't stand in the kitchen and hover.
Nice.
No, I kind of wish that we had more peppermint schnapps, because Thor makes this wonderful thing that he calls Christmas in a cup.
Okay.
Oh my god. It's got just enough peppermint schnapps in there to help give the warm belly feeling that alcohol does.
Mm-hmm.
And to give like the mintiness to the hot cocoa.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but it's so good.
That sounds
So
awesome. I actually made a Christmas old-fashioned that I was really happy with. Yeah. A couple of years ago, I was working at a resort, a wedding venue. It's called Vintage Villas. It's here in Austin. Really beautiful place, amazing spot, and I loved working with them because they would let me they'd let me bring my own ingredients and experiment a little bit with drinks, which was awesome. And I mean, hell, that was where I learned most of how to be a bartender. But I had a cinnamon, honey, and pumpkin spice simple syrup that I would bring in and make an old fashioned with that. Maker's Mark, yeah, 1.5 ounces of Maker's Mark, an ounce of that simple syrup, 2 dashes of orange bitters. Let's see. 1 dash of Angostura bitters, and then a expressed orange peel over the top, and flamed orange zest.
Oh,
Yep.
that give.
If I was gonna make that now, though, I would make one little upgrade to it, in that I would do a bruleed chip over the top of it. So
Why do you have to do this to me?
Because I love making people drool with the idea of drinks. I have to being a bartender, like I love being a sculptor, and this, being an artist is what I was meant to do, and I know that. But there is a huge part of me that thoroughly enjoys being a bartender and being able to.
I mean, that's still art.
Like that. Oh, very much so.
I mean, like anybody can pour beer into a glass. But to be a bartender in the way that you are takes art, takes creativity, takes effort.
Well, I think that I operate on the assumption that there's a difference. The difference between a good bartender and a great bartender is a good bartender is going to make you a drink that you'll enjoy. A great bartender is going to make you a drink that you remember.
You know what? I agree with it. There's a bar here in Tulsa called the Max.
Mm-hmm.
It is a 80s and early 90s retro style bar. All of their drinks are named after things from the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Nice.
stuff like that. And they play movies from that era on a projector screen on the wall.
Nice.
And they have like working arcades and a couple of those flat tables where one person sits on each side and the screen is flat.
Oh
my god.
The old pizza
Yes!
consoles.
Yes, I
Wow.
love that place.
That is awesome.
But there's this. I don't know if he still works there or not, because it's been years since I've gone.
Mm-hmm.
What with COVID and everything.
Right.
But there was this one bartender there, absolutely phenomenal, had flair and charm out the ass.
Mm-hmm.
But he made this one drink with glazed donut flavored vodka and Yoo-hoo. And I shit you not, that was the only thing in it, but it tasted just like a chocolate Krispy Kreme donut.
Okay, that's awesome.
It was
That's
so
very
good.
cool.
It was so good. No, you're ruining it.
I know, I'm the worst person ever.
I mean, I wasn't going to say it, but it's nice to hear you admit it.
Alright, you know what? We're just gonna take everything from here back. I can make those legs again. That's not a problem.
Yeah, they're just leggies.
Yee. And we're going to turn this back to the default color, and then just to differentiate it from everything. No? Yeah, yes. No.
Stomp.
That. There we go. Stump.
Ooh.
There we go.
Oh, I like that color.
So now we're going to increase resolution multiple times. Alright.
The happy little faces had to do some work.
Right? Alright,
Oh, wow.
so now it just comes down to going in and refining some more shapes.
So, compared to the size of a normal blood dive, how big is this thing going to be?
So a normal size blood diver would probably stand to about here.
Holy crap.
Yeah, these guys are huge. And there's a reason for it. I mean, their primary mission is to go and gather super heavy salvage that the other teams have marked for.
And then GTFO.
Right. Why are you being like that? My sculpt was dancing all over the place. Zero reason.
Oh, look, he's so happy.
He's smiling. I have to admit, this music is pretty slick.
I like it.
I'm enjoying this. It's funny because I'm not a music listener.
What?
I'm not. I never have been. There are certain music that I really do enjoy, like when the mood hits me. But for the most part, whenever I'm listening to something like on headphones or something like that, I'm listening to spoken word.
Oh, that's so weird.
I know. I've got some strange quirks. And especially coming from me, considering who my family is. My mother was the first or second chair violinist for the New Mexico Symphony Orchestra. My sister was the first chair violinist for the Austin Youth Orchestra. My other sister was the first chair cellist for the Austin Youth Orchestra.
Dude, I love cellos.
Oh yeah. And I was raised, playing instruments and learning how to direct music and make music. I never really got into it as much as my family did.
You know, dude, music is such a huge part of our lives. I would more for Thor than it is for pancakes. Shit, I'm sorry.
No worries.
Um,
No, I totally understand. It's pancakes.
I was pushing the button and talking, and then just pancakes floated into my view.
Mhm.
But no, like, so music is way more important for Thor than it is for me. You know, what with him being a musician and everything.
Of course,
But
yeah.
music is such an important part of our lives that like, I mean, I don't think less of you or anything like that. It's just, it's weird.
Yeah.
Because music is so important that it's just like, nah, I like hearing people talk. I'm like, what?
Well, it's so I think there's a couple of different sources of that, I guess you could say. I was always fascinated with learning something new. I always wanted to learn something. So when
I can get with that.
When I got to the point where I had, YouTube and access to this incredible wealth of human knowledge that human beings have access to with the technology that we've created, I just became obsessed with learning something. So I was constantly,
I mean, that's not bad.
Yeah, I was constantly absorbing information, learning how to make games, how to be a cosplayer, or how to take things from worlds that I really enjoyed. And I think one of the reasons why I love cosplay as much as I do is that it is this amazing expression of being able to take something from a world that you really love and kind of share that, share it with the world, or you get a chance to reach into that world and grab an object from it and hold it and actually feel, the weight of it and the way that it, the way that it sits in your hand, or the way that it sits on your body if it's armor, or there's so much expressiveness in it, and I think that's what always drew me to it. Was I always wanted to be able to do that with things, be able to take something that I cared about and be able to make it real. And I mean, hell, now I get to do that in quite a literal way with this program. So
you're right.
And if it wasn't for YouTube, I would not have any idea what I'm doing here. I mean, yeah. I learned almost everything I know either just from trial and error, or learning off of other people who were experimenting with this tech on YouTube. It's another reason why I was so adamant about having virtual reality be a part of Nexus Dungeoneering and kind of our footprint on the world, is having experienced how transformative this technology is for gaming, both the gaming community, the creative community, the social community that goes along with this world. I mean, this is the future, and it's only getting better. I mean, every time a new development comes out, it just makes the technology more and more accessible, and yeah, it's really inspiring. So steps down off his soapbox.
Are you sure?
No, I really am. I'm a huge advocate for this technology, and I think anybody who knows me well knows that I am. And it's because of this, this experience of being able to step into this world and create things
as easily as you can now. Well, I wouldn't say easily, but once you figure out what you're doing, the possibilities are pretty much endless, you know?
Oh no, I absolutely agree. Like when I started messing around with my epoxy stuff, I had no idea what I was doing. I wasted so much stuff trying to figure out, proper levels, proper amounts.
Oh God,
How much do I need to do this? The timing. Oh my God, the timing. The humidity.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Oh my God. There's like anybody who watches epoxy, it's one of two things generally that I have found talking to people. Either A, that stuff looks so cool but so complicated, I can never do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or, that looks easy, I could do that.
Yep.
It's not.
No, it's definitely not. There's nothing simple about it.
And neither of those things at the same time.
Yeah, I've worked with epoxy before. I know what you're talking about, or resin in general, and it's it can be an absolute nightmare to work with.
Oh, absolutely.
But at the same time,
especially when the house humidity isn't right, so it never fully sets, so it's still sticky and tacky, even after sitting in the mold for like a week.
Yeah, I've had that happen before.
Mm-hmm.
God, especially here in Texas. A couple of years ago, we went to PAX South, and I had I made a Astra Militarum cosplay for it, which is a Warhammer 40k like Imperial Guard uniform. And one of the things that I had was I had a bunch of Imperial Aquillas that I'd made one and then cast a whole bunch of versions of it so that I could give them away. And man, the first like 3 or 4 attempts at getting that thing cast was an absolute nightmare. And it was because of the humidity in Austin. And I couldn't figure it out for the longest time, and it wasn't until I finally went on YouTube and was like, all right, what the hell is going on?
Right, what am I doing wrong?
It's like, what is this? Why am I failing at this particular job? And the answer turned out to be fairly simple, actually.
It's the humidity.
Yeah.
So, is he going to... Well, I don't suppose gender is even really a thing at this point.
Yeah.
But,
mutagens don't really have much of a gender.
Yeah. So is this mutagene going to have more human-like eyes or more hermit crab-like eyes?
In fact, actually, mutagenes don't have eyes.
What?
They don't have eyes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, how do they see?
Well, I mean, the same way they do literally anything else. They're mistwalkers. I mean, the way that they actually operate is kind of, well, I mean, it's not kind of, it is insane. So a lot of the ways that they move around is psychic. The way that they see is psychic.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about it. The navigator in Blood Divers, that mutagene has the ability to look into the future and predict the next attack, right?
Yeah.
So that's a good portion of that isn't just the fact that Ix is telepathic, or isn't the fact that he's precognitive. It's just that's how he sees the world.
Oh.
Yeah.
Snap.
Mutagenes have a rather creepy quirk. When they get tired, they start temporally looping. So, Ix in the very first story that we wrote with him in it, Ix walks up to the group. Well, they had never seen a mutagene before, so Zen is sitting there talking to him, and then out of the mist behind him comes Ix, and you've seen Ix. Ix is creepy looking, And he, like,
Yep.
charges up, jumps on Ix's back, or on Zen's back, and they kind of tussle around a little bit. And then all of a sudden they slow down, stop, and then reverse. Both of them. And Ix jumps off of Zen's back, goes tearing backwards into the mist, and then everything restarts again, only this time, instead of jumping on Zen's back, Ix charges past him and stops looking at the recruits. That temporal looping comes from the fact that he's tired. He's exerted himself. And the more he exerts his mind, the more he's affected by that temporal looping.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's so cool, though.
Thank you. That was definitely one of my more favorite additions to Ix. I really like that group. It's kind of funny when you read the story. Eventually, I'll have to talk to Gelf and see what would be required to get that out. But
I think that would be cool.
yeah, there's a really neat little. I think one of the things that I love about that story is that Ix is surprisingly lovable. Like, he's creepy. Mm-hmm. But there's a lovability about him, He's like, you can tell he doesn't want to hurt anybody. He doesn't, he doesn't want to scare you. He's just he is who he is.
Yeah.
And through Zen, you kind of see a little bit of that humanity coming out. And I think that was one of the things that I really love about the Mutagene handler teams, is that they deal with some of the hardest circumstances that humanity could possibly expect themselves to do. I mean, this person voluntarily made themselves go insane and subjected themselves to a horrific mutation. So their
just
sacrifice,
for the betterment of humankind,
for the survival of humankind. Yeah. Without the Blood Divers Guild, the human race would cease to exist, and they know that, and that's why mutagenes are treated with the respect that they are. These people have made the ultimate sacrifice for humanity. They chose a fate literally worse than death.
Yeah. It's some pretty heavy stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely a center bounce. There we go. It's definitely it's a rough it's a rough world.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. But I mean, it's not without its wonders. I mean, you were talking about that one city with the vapor things, the water place.
Oh, Bregna. Yeah, that's Kitten's hometown. Yeah, Bregna's really neat. I gotta get you some of the lore that she and I have written about this.
Yes, you do. That way I don't ask dumb questions.
Right? You never ask dumb questions. You keep me from saying dumb stuff, which I appreciate.
I mean, I can only do so much.
Right. But yeah, the presence of the Blood Divers Guild has allowed humanity to do, to come a very, very long way. There's no question about that. They have not only learned how to survive at post cataclysm, but they've learned how to thrive.
Yeah.
And
that's the important part.
Right. And it's because of the sacrifices of people like the Blood Divers that they're able to enjoy the lives that they do, which
in many cases is a fairly luxurious life. I mean, it's
all things considered.
Right. It's not this is not a dystopian world. In that the average livelihood of most of the citizens of this world is a fairly good one. I mean, poverty is not really a huge thing in this world. There's very little poverty. There's very little sickness because the technology has come far enough that human beings have learned how to overcome a huge number of major issues. It's also a much smaller population, so the world's population has been reduced to about 2 billion.
That's a lot.
That's
a lot of loss. I mean.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's post guild. Before that, the human race had been reduced to less than 1 billion. The last war damn near killed off the human race. And if it hadn't been for the cataclysm, it probably would have wiped out the human race. So in a weird way...
That's a terrifying thought.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about the weaponry that was released and the way that the UGP went about it. I mean, the UGP didn't care. As far as they were concerned, they were adopting a scorched earth policy. Anybody who was not UGP was resistance. And anybody who's resistance needs to be wiped out. That's why they released tempric weapons. Yeah.
I don't like these people.
Yeah, the UGP are kind of assholes. A little bit.
Do they still exist? Can I go burn them down?
No, they died out with with most of humanity.
Good.
So.
Not the most of humanity part, but.
Right. Yeah. No, the UGP was responsible for the last war, and because of that, they were after the cataclysm happened. Anybody who was still a UGP supporter was ostracized. They were
like you just can't be here.
Yeah, like look at what you did to this world. You are not welcome here anymore.
Yeah.
One of those types of things. On the other hand, what does exist of the UGP, the little that's left of the UGP, is actually in Atlas. Atlas is what the UGP was supposed to be.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why Atlas was founded.
Okay.
So it's treated as a so the UGP was supposed to bring everybody together and offer like a singular government and offer protection to everybody.
Right.
You know, that kind of the ideal USA type, like what the US is supposed to be type thing.
You mean like Star Trek?
Yeah, exactly. But obviously the UGP was corrupted by power, and that was what drove their expulsion and created the situation that the last war became. So,
well, as my mother always says, absolute power corrupts absolutely. So.
Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. This is true.
I mean, not that I am particularly against a one world government if done properly, but getting the entire human race to agree on anything is a miracle and a feat in and of itself.
Truth. Absolute truth.
You're making him polka dotted? What's wrong with you? No.
Oh, no. No. I am making him spiky.
Oh.
These like that.
I'm getting so many DMs that I just can't look at right now.
Well, I'm thinking we're getting pretty close to the end on this one. How long have we been on? How long have we been live?
Like an hour and a quarter.
Oh, okay. We got a little bit.
And
more time.
our usual runtime is about 2, but I mean, we could end it early if you wanted.
Well, I am starting to get some really nasty Pfizer burn.
Aw.
So, yeah, I might need
Yeah, that's
to.
no bueno.
I might need to end it a little bit early.
Well, hey, that's not a bad thing either, because that just means that we get to come back to this.
Exactly. And I
We
am
get to do more. Yay!
thoroughly enjoying this guy. This dude is turning out so well.
Yeah. So spiky.
So spiky. Why is it spicy? Still my favorite meme. Why is it spicy? Alright.
So, if he can, well, if the mutagene can pull all of its limbs into its shell, what about the spikes? Are those also malleable? Or are those hard set and it gets like weird and uncomfortable? Like, how does it function?
The way that no, I think the way that these spikes is they're not actually bone.
Okay.
They're a quick hardening secreted resin that the mutagene is able to basically. It's a super high calcium resin, basically. So it's able to form or deform these things back into its body if it needs to. Or in the case of these big bone spears, it could just drop the spears and suck everything back into itself.
Alright then. Hey, Gelf.
Oh, shot.
Oh, hello.
It is a
¿Cómo
Gelf. A Gelf has
Hello,
arrived.
pretty lady.
You're so nice.
Yes.
How's
How
it
you
going?
doing?
Have you seen the horror that he's creating?
Oh yeah, I jumped into the stream before I jumped into chat.
Oh,
Just to make sure I wasn't interrupting anything special or spoilery. So, did we decide to go with more of like the crab or the hermit crab, or what direction? Because it looks like we're going in more of like the traditional crab direction.
So, kind of like a hermit crab, kind of like a regular crab. I definitely wanted the front end to have that hermit crab feel to it. So these 4 limbs right
God,
here
I
are
can't
just
look.
for just grabbing and pulling it forward.
Uh-huh.
And
Yep.
then you've got these back legs here that are just designed for helping it keep its shell over get its shell over
terrain.
whatever rocks or terrain or something like that. Yeah.
Because what I was thinking, if we're gonna introduce sleds,
Mm-hmm.
if we're gonna introduce sleds anyway,
Mhm.
it makes sense that it have like, what the fuck is that thing? No, I don't want to know. I don't care. It's fine. But having something that you can just say like, okay, it's hauling a sled, and then you want your own sled? Well, here, spec into it, or buy one and carry it with you, etc.
Right.
Whereas unless you have a winch diver, which is going to be added later, it's not implemented yet in the beta, Cthulhu.
I didn't say anything yet.
No, just kidding.
Mm-hmm.
A winch diver would have the aerial version, and then if you don't have a winch diver, then you have the ground version.
Yeah.
Is what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't watch the screen.
It's
fucking me
just
up.
teeth.
No, it's the crab part of it.
She
Wasn't the
really
crab
doesn't
part
like
your
crabs.
idea, though?
Yeah, well, yes, because it makes the most sense. Just because I'm ridiculously uncomfortable around crabs and other, yeah, just
You
because
gotta
I'm
say,
uncomfortable.
that's a creepy ass looking crab. I mean,
But he's
You know,
so
dude-
happy.
he's so happy. Look at that smile.
You really gotta, like, talk to the Kingdom Death people because they would fucking love you.
Kingdom Death.
Okay, so Kingdom Death,
Death minis, they're awesome.
yeah, I would definitely recommend checking them out. They do some awesome monsters. It's called Boutique Nightmare Horror. It's this game that is unapologetically vicious. Like,
Ooh.
Yeah.
nudity, violence, you know, da 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 da. It's actually very, very terrifying. When you start playing, you are literally wandering around in nothing but rags and have a lantern. And
I'm okay with this.
the monsters that they have are, there's one called the oh god, it's the thing with it looks like a bird, but when you look really, really closely at it, it's like all made of like screaming faces.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it has like if you look closely at its butthole, it's got hands like trying to
Yep.
escape.
It's creepy. Really creepy.
I need this in my life. Where? What?
Kingdomdeath.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the starting survivors, if you just go to the monster page, you can just scroll down and check them all out. But yeah, I'm trying to find the butthole bird. It's a very, very like complicated game, but it is so cool. Oh, here's the other thing that they do. They do pin-up style minis.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They've got
Yeah.
some
Oh, yeah.
really good ones too.
Avendi has bought like a bunch of them and some of them for me, and I'm like, when are these going to be painted so I can show them off?
Right? Oh, hey, Reinhardt. We have another viewer.
Oh,
What's
shot. What up, Reinhardt? How you doing, man?
Welcome to the Discord as well, dude.
Reinhardt is the reason that I have been checking out VR chat.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So you didn't come across this addiction on your own. Got it.
No, not at all.
So I am going to be here and listening. I might jump in and out just to kind of keep up with what's going on, but I'm DMing tonight and I did not prepare yesterday, so
Ooh.
We
Oopsie
honestly,
doopsie.
I think we're gonna be finishing up here in just a few minutes. I'm getting a little bit of visor burn, so
Yeah.
I'm probably
That
gonna need
is
to.
the downside of VR.
Visor
Yeah.
burn is a thing. It is an issue sometimes. But first, I have to show you the scale of how big this thing is compared to another diver.
Yeah.
That's what I was actually wondering about. Yeah. Read my mind. Here's a pillow. Whack.
Yeah, I had asked him earlier, and it was just floating in space, so it was hard to really see what he was saying, but it's fucking huge. It's huge.
I thought we were gonna go for like small and fast. Are we doing kind of both? Oh my god, it
I mean-
glows. What? Oh, that's the diver. I thought excuse me. I thought the crab was okay. Yeah, I know, I understand now. And that's okay, Reinhardt. That's okay. Why? Fucking why? I disagree with this. Okay, that's a little bit better. Whew.
Why are you breaking it? Breaking everything.
There we
Because
go.
he can.
He does this regularly.
So
Yeah.
this
Oh yeah,
is,
I'm aware. Yeah, Reinhardt, I managed to get my own custom avatar set up, and only after going through all of the work of connecting it and all of this shit did I realize it's too tall. We tried playing pool in VR, and I was like crouched and like twisted. I was holding the Hue like a javelin because I couldn't get into a good position for it. It sucked.
I'm so sorry. That's just funny.
And the only reason I won is because I begged Az to be like, can you just sink one in for me? Just one. I was like 5 balls behind.
That's true.
He's like, oh yeah, oops, clink. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, luck is on my side. And I sank them all, including the 8 ball. And I was like, oh, look, I won. And he's going, God damn.
Yep.
Jesus.
Yeah, I would probably say God damn it too.
Here's something I discovered looking at the mutagene's front claws. I was reading an article. I'll have to link it to you. But it's about how the evolution of horses, like to a 1 toe extra ankle sort of hoof design, has actually decreased its survivability. It's increased its increased its speed, but apparently when modern horses run, because of the way they do it, they don't actually breathe. The movement of the gallop and whatnot actually causes their lungs to compress and whatnot, and their blood is pumped via that motion as well. Whereas back in the day, they used to have like separate fingers, like 3 or 4 different fingers, and that allowed them a lot more mobility. They could grab and turn faster. They weren't quite as fast on the straightaway.
Right.
And it was a really, really cool article. I don't know how accurate it is because it's the internet, and who knows? But it was very, very cool. And now that I'm looking at how,
that's just so cute. It's like a big puppy.
Well, this is his handlers.
Big puppy, sure. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. I was just looking at Az's design, and it's like perfect. Are you gonna pull that thumb back into a dew claw, or is that thumb gonna remain what's the word? Is it gonna remain like a hand? Or are you gonna pull that back into more of like a dew claw?
What do you mean?
The thumb.
This guy?
Yeah. No. Your mutagene.
This one right here?
Yeah. I was wondering if you were gonna pull that thumb back into a dew claw, or if you were gonna leave it opposable. That's the word I was.
Probably.
Are they gonna remain more
opposable.
human-like?
Yeah, I mean he's gonna maintain a little bit of his human stature. That's why I gave him a somewhat human upper body.
Kinda.
Yeah, I mean kinda, sorta. I think the fingers are gonna end up being
No poop in the den. God damn it, Reinhardt. Stay.
Oh no, dude! You really need to put a newspaper in his hand and be like, "No, whack," and then it eats him.
Agreed.
Sorry, I didn't mean to spawn a change. I was just curious.
No, I needed to make the to finish or get this set up anyway in order to finish the sculpt. So.
Cthulhu, I'm a dick.
What did you do?
I made him redo it.
I made him redo something earlier with the shell. It's fine.
Oh yeah, did you?
It's
what was
true.
that?
It was too soft.
Okay.
So then he made harder lines, but then it was too hard. So then he softened them up a bit.
Oh yeah, this is a conversation I have with him every Friday night.
Yep. Pretty much.
Kidding?
I'm kidding. Jesus, why do you agree with me on shit like that?
I
Don't
have
do
to.
that.
What?
Oh, and now they're like clawed fingies. I
And it
blame
makes
you for
sense.
this.
Me or him?
You.
Oh, I'll take it.
Okay.
Because I dig it.
You know,
I mean,
I
it's
like
as
it
we're
a
talking
lot.
about here.
Well, I mean, yeah. Should fix the thumb.
He's working on it. Give him a second.
One Mississippi.
That looked like a penis.
Does it look like a penis?
It looked like a penor. Are we allowed to say that on YouTube?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, this is marked as adults, so you got to be.
You gotta be this high to ride this game. I mean,
my God.
Did I?
did I do this on purpose? The answer is probably.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, I did. I think no. Well, shit.
It's good enough for now. Don't worry about it.
No. I'm fixing this shit. This is happening.
3 years later.
One eternity later.
Yes.
All right.
God.
Got
My
it.
people,
Welcome
I
to
have
Nexus
found you.
Dungeoneering. Yes, you have.
All right.
And we're not letting you leave. So, I mean, that's just something you're going to have to live with.
Okay, I'll agree to that, but
Nope.
when are the two of you going to come up so I can make dinner? Instead of just
Oh, my
sending you
God.
pictures to drool over.
Like Asop.
Because, I mean,
I'm done.
I don't have a problem with just continuously sending you pictures of food that we cook and make you go, But, you know, I'd also like you to eat it, too.
Eh. I'll be up there tonight. No, I'm kidding.
I'm all
Alright,
kind of
alright.
down for like everything. So.
What?
What?
Huh?
Who are you again?
As
Why are you in
always
my
down
spaceship?
for anything.
Anything?
Oh God.
I
So if
love-
you slap him with a newspaper, Reinhardt says penai. Yes. Penai fingers.
Multiple penis.
I love the concern and trepidation in the oh my. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna make you like take care of my kids or something. Jeez. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. So I legit did not know where the light was coming from until I saw you move the thing.
Right?
I was like,
Yeah.
how is it so bright? He didn't select bright colors like that. What's going on? Moves
That's-
lantern. Shit.
That is one of the cool parts about being able to light your scene like in scene. It makes me super happy. All right.
That is sick.
We have, I do believe we have a completed diorama here.
Are we gonna keep the shell pearly white?
No, we're not.
Or are we just
paint it
leaving
up a
it
little
here
bit.
for today?
No, we're gonna paint it up a little bit.
I think we should leave it for another day.
Oh, fine.
Because you have razor burn. Or Pfizer, the thing!
He probably has that too,
I have
actually.
Pfizer burn.
Pfizer burn.
It's a razor burn.
Isn't
You
that
don't
what
really
all
know
the
Pfizer
Republicans
burn.
are scared
You
of?
got Moderna. Oh my god, that's the new thing! TM. Nobody
my
steal
God.
that.
That was wonderful. Oh, that was wonderful. Aw, that's so cute.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I do believe that is us done.
For now.
For now.
For now. That is definitely a good one, though. I'm going to go ahead and switch back. Give me just a second here.
When you finish, when you finish building this, will you do me a favor and redo that same shot that you just did that last one? Because that would look really good on the site.
It would.
Which one?
That last one from the diver's left, looking up that last photo that you did.
You mean...
We got to work on your Oh, you've got your camera up because you do VR camera.
Oh, yeah.
shots, Like, okay.
Yeah. And,
I was gonna say you got to tip that down, boy. Your composition is.
Das ist yours. That one?
What do you mean?
I just sent it to you in Discord.
Yes, that one.
Sweet. I've got tons of
Or-
others, so...
if you take that and tip it up just a little bit, so the you know what? I'll crop it and I'll show you. It doesn't have to happen now. You're live on you're live on YouTube. So
honestly, yeah, I'm not super worried about it because I do plan on bringing this into Blender and doing some texturing and some more lighting and actually doing like a full cycles render on it. So it's gonna look a whole lot better once that's done. So, but anyway. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Gelf, thank you so much for jumping into chat and chatting with us.
It is always nice to have the pretty lady.
It is indeed. It is indeed.
Did you just make fart noises?
Yes, I did.
Yes, she did. That's what she does.
I do that.
That's her thing. So, yeah. So for all of you who are not watching us live, if you like what you see here and you'd like to see more, please consider hitting that subscribe button and the little like button and that little bell icon so you can see what's going on here in the Nexus. And yeah, we'll be back with another stream.
Extra.
Fart noises did cost extra. This is true.
We'll just charge it. We'll charge today's to as a tab.
All right, y'all. We love you. Be smart. Be safe. Always stay creative. And we will see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. This is amazing. I love the fact that you did that while we were still live.
Oops.
That's okay. No worries. I'm still live too. I have muted myself. Later, everybody.